Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, I'm Subrena. If you are not new to this, welcome back to another video. We are summertime fine and ready for the summer with this hair. Just get into it real quick. Just get into these curls real quick. This is so gorgeous. Yeah. So this gorgeous hair was provided by Ywigs Hair. This is their deep wave feather crochet hair. We had to get some braids. It's the summertime, it's hot. I live in Florida. Y'all already know how that goes. But we know that healthy hair care is always at the forefront of all my styles, whether it's my natural hair or extensions. So we did do some beautiful feed-in miracle knot braids. This has no extra braiding hair. This is just with your natural hair and the feather crochet hair. So it's going to be a very lightweight. It's not going to cause any unnecessary tension or weight on your head. And again, we're feeding this in, we're not crocheting it in, so you won't also get into any possible damage or breakage trying to get these out. This is a few days after I've installed it. All I've done is just mist some waters to just, you know, make the curls pop a little bit more. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the tutorial so I can show you how to install it if you're interested in this method.
Thank you to Ywigs for sponsoring this video. They did send me over 5 packs of hair. This is their deep wave crochet hair. I got 2 packs of 22 inches, 2 packs of 20 inches, and a 18 inch. This is the hair straight out of the pack. This is what the curl pattern is looking like. It's a natural brown color. Now, I did not wash this hair straight out of the pack. I did install it. This is what the feather crochet looks like. It is a thick strand of thread that holds 2 pieces together, and it is a very secure construction. And I wanted to show you what the curl pattern was looking like separate from the hair. So let's go ahead and get into the install. So I am starting out with freshly washed and blow dried hair. This is what it looks like. And I did go in and pre-part my hair. That is going to make it so much easier. I did end up with 7 rows. And on top of pre-parting my hair, I also went in and sectioned, which you'll see in a minute. So this is my hair so far. It took me a while to get here because I did take a bunch of breaks, but that's neither here or there. So again, for each row, I did go in and also pre-part each braiding section because that as well is going to make this go a lot faster and easier, especially if you're doing a certain parting method. Now, before we go into the braids, I also wanted to prep my crochet hair since this is going to be directly on my natural hair. I did go in with some leave-in conditioner and saturate the thread with it. Only the thread, not the hair itself. Then I'm going to go into my pre-part section and also apply that same leave-in conditioner on my natural hair because again, we are going to be in this protective style for a few weeks. We want to make sure our hair is hydrated within it. Then I'm going in with some edge control and I'm just going to smooth that all around my part to make sure I get a very crisp grasp. Now I'm going to go in and section my hair into 3 sections and start our braid. Now, I hope you know how to braid, but if not, just follow along for the visual. I cannot explain it. But we're going to start our braid and we are going to try to grip this as secure as possible. The tighter the grip, the neater, the fresher, the part, the look, all of that. After I braid a few times, because this is the very top row, I am going to install or apply the first piece of crochet hair immediately. So I just apply it to the very outer ends of hair and then just continue my same braiding pattern. After I braid the strand or the thread in the braid, I will start to then remove the curly pieces out of the braid. And then I will braid down some more, probably like a couple times, and then remove the second piece of the feather crochet curly hair. I am going to do this a couple more times so you'll see how I insert it. But again, it is very easy. You just braid your hair like normal. When you are ready to insert the crochet hair, you just apply it to the very two outer parts of your braid and just continue your braid. If at any time your hair is either getting too thin or you want to extend the length of your braid, what you can do is once you insert the feather crochet hair, you can split the hair in 2 or 1/3, however you need. When you're separating it, you will leave that curly part out, and then you can join the rest with your natural hair. That is going to thicken up that specific strand of your natural hair that you use to build it up with the crochet hair to either extend it or just to have more structure and strength for your braid. When I get to the very ends of the braid, again, I will add another piece of crochet hair and I will braid all the way past my natural hair. It is very important that you braid past your natural hair because you don't want to leave your ends vulnerable to damage. And also you just want to make sure the longevity of your braids will last. If you don't braid your hair all the way out, you just might run into some problems. So after I know that I've braided all of my hair within the braid and I'm past my hair, and what I typically use to gauge that is I can kind of tell the ends of my hair, it gets a little fuzzy in the braid. After I reach that point, I'm going to take a very thin strand that is from the crochet hair and I'm going to make a knot around the braid where I ended it. And I do that about 3 to 4 times. And this is just going to help the hair or the braid not unravel because this is curly hair, but it is still a silkier texture hair than mine. Obviously, after I spritz it and wet it, my hair will probably, revert back and it'll be better, but that just helps secure your hair for the meantime. So this is what it is looking like when I am all done. I'm just showing you how many pieces of hair I was able to add into that one braid. This is what the hair is looking like when I finally finished it. Now we're gonna go in and make sure, it's just looking like what it needs to look like. So I did go in and spritz the hair with some water. I wanted the curls to just really form so you can see what it really looks like. I know sometimes you can receive hair and the curl pattern may look one way, and then once you wash it or once water wet it, it can look different. So that is the hair, fresh out the pack, freshly installed with no water whatsoever. And now I am misting the hair with water. I only mist this hair with water. I don't put any product on it because I just didn't feel like it was necessary. And I just also don't want to overcrowd the hair with product. So this is what the hair is looking like, freshly mist with water. Curls still popping, looks really, really nice. So I just went around all of the hair and misted it with water to, again, just get the real curl texture to pop. After I did that, I did also go in and trim the ends of the hair. I just wanted to make sure it had, just a nice full kind of blunt look, or it's just not looking, scraggly. That's all. So I did it to both sides. Right here, I wanted to show you what the texture looks like. Again, untouched, fresh out of the pack. This is what it was looking like while it was damp and misted with water. And you can just kind of see it's truly the same thing. And even from the final results, you can see. So the pattern is true to pattern. It's very pretty and you won't be disappointed.
Okay, you all. So this is the final look of the Feed In Miracle Knots version, which is basically just a regular knotless boho or goddess braid look, just with crochet hair. They're all the same. We have about 10 different names for them now. If we want to keep it real, this is truly just regular, like I said, Feed In knotless braids just with your natural hair. But this is the final look. It's so full but so lightweight. I don't feel like I have so much on my head. Like, I haven't even really worn this any other way but in the middle part since I've done my hair. So cute. So let me just break it down a little bit further when it comes to the install. For this install, I only used edge control on the last two rows because those are the main rows that's going to be showing. For me, I have seborrheic dermatitis, so my scalp can flake, it can get inflamed, it can get real irritated, so I don't want a lot of product on the base or on the root of my hair. So everywhere else I did not use any edge control to, like, you know, make my parts super crisp or anything like that. I only did it for these two rows, and we're gonna see how my hair behaves, and then next time, who knows. That just explains this part. So this one up here is so crisp, and it definitely does make a huge difference if you're looking up here compared to, you know, my braids down here. Like, it's not as crisp as up here. So that will show you just a difference of if you decide to not use an edge control for the base to grip your hair and make it, like, you know, sleeker and tighter versus if you do. Now let's get into the hair placement of it all. How did I get this volume, this thickness, how much hair did I use, all of that, right? So first and foremost, I used 4.5 packs. I still have some of the 5th pack left, and I did go in ascending order for the hair length. So I started out with the 18 inches at the bottom of my hair. Then after the 18 inches ran out, I moved to the 20 inches, and then on the top I have the 22 inches. So that is how I'm able to kind of get like a full look that is kind of like full all the way throughout, and it doesn't really seem like it has a lot of different length variation. It just kind of looks like it's all just this length. If you do it the other way, longest length first and then you go up to the shorter, you can expect to have probably a more layered look and probably more shape in your hair, or you'll have a certain kind of shape in your hair. I really like the way that I did this because, again, it allowed me to basically have the length but then have the fullness like all throughout, which I love this. Now to get to each rows, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 rows in my head total. For these first 2 rows right here, we only have 2 pieces of braiding hair. So I did one at the initial when I first added in, and as you can see, this is curly hair, so it's gonna wrap around each other. This hair technically is supposed to like look so much fuller, but obviously over days wetting it's gonna like wrap around each other. But when you go out and if you like fluff it out, this hair can be so big. So for the first 2 rows, I only inserted 2 pieces of crochet hair. So I did one towards the beginning, and then the very last one was at the edge. So this is the first 2 rows. For the 3rd row, and then basically for each row after that, I added a hair. So for this 3rd row hair, there is 3 pieces of crochet hair. There's one up here, one here, and then one at the very edge. Now the front of my hair is a little bit thinner, so these I only placed as much hair that I knew my natural hair can take. It's very fine up here, so this one doesn't even have a second one, it just has one at the very bottom. This one up here is a little bit thicker, so that can handle 2 pieces of hair, but this row actually is supposed to have like 4 pieces of hair. So that's all I did. So the 3rd row, the goal is 3 pieces of crochet hair, but depending on maybe the thickness, or maybe if I'm in an area that's a little bit more damaged on my natural hair, since I didn't use braiding hair, it may use less, but the goal was always 3 for the 3rd row. And we just kept increasing it. So then the 4th row, the goal was 4 pieces of hair. And as you can see, this hair is like wrapping around so much on each other because it's curly hair, but the hair itself is not actually tangled. It's just so curly. It just wraps around each other so much. But yeah, so here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. and I just increased it. So the fifth one, I think this was still 4 as well. And then when we got up to these last 2 rows, because this is the row that everybody was gonna see, this is the row that covers everything else, this is where we hit our 5 pieces. And again, if it fit, it fit. If it didn't, it at least got 4. But the last 2 rows has the most hair of all the braids. So you have 1, you have 2, you have 3, you have 4, and you have 5. So that is how I installed it. For the ones that's gonna wanna know exactly how many pieces for each row to get this look, that's how I did it. The feather crochet technology that's out now is so clutch, even for feed-in braids, because it makes it so much easier to add the braid in versus when it's like a loose hair and all these strands of hair is out. It makes it so much easier. I like that the thread is actually so thin, so when you do add it in, especially when you're just doing your natural hair, it doesn't change the size of your braid. You won't see this big gap of where you try to add in hair. It's just so seamless and so effortless. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the crochet hair. I've gotten so many compliments on my hair since I've done it. Yo, why have I booked a hair appointment? Somebody booked me to do their hair. It's my friend, but she booked me to do her hair. So this is what it looks like with almost 5 packs of hair. If you're thinking of how thick you probably want it, yeah. I just love that it's more hair than braids. This looks so good. Okay, so that's it, you guys. I absolutely love this. Make sure you check the description box. All the links to this hair and any discount code that I have will be down there. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you like the look. And I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.